Hey, how you doing? My name is Duke Devlin. Um, I attended the Woodstock Music and Art Fair in 1969. Back at that time, I was living in Texas, in Amarillo, Texas. I was staying in a small commune, and I met a fella who wanted to come to Pennsylvania to visit his girlfriend. He needed a road buddy, and I told him. He asked me. I said no. I said I'm familiar with the area because I was born in New Jersey, so I knew the area. But so anyway, make a long story short, he couldn't find anybody to go with him. I felt bad for him. I said, I'll tell you what, man, I'll go with you, but we're not going to stay that long. Well, on the way up, we started to hear these. We were hitching. On the way up, we heard these little inklings about this festival they were talking about. It's supposed to be on a farm, and it's all these great bands are going to be playing in a pasture or cornfield or something. And I said, nah, that can't happen. That's too that's I don't think this is real. But we heard more and more and more about it. And then, later on we found out, that the Woodstock event was targeting the college crowd. They sent to colleges all these different boxes of flyers and pamphlets, because, we didn't have internet or nothing back like that in those days. So, but on that pamphlet, he got a flyer, one of them flyers that said, had the list of performers, the who's who of the culture. Jimmy and Janice, the king and the queen. Whoa, man, 3 days. It's going to be on a farm, and there's going to be an Indian village, and there's going to be a petting zoo. And on the bottom it said, breathe air, it's never been breathed before. I said, oh man, this is too cool. So after we got to Pennsylvania, his girlfriend was gone. His heart was broke for a little while. And then we hitchhiked up here. And we got up here, I'd say it must have been a week or so before the show. And there was a lot of people here moving around, a lot of the stage being erected, and the roads were a lot of traffic. I thought that was the call of the day. I thought it was regular traffic that they had here. I didn't realize it. It was already traffic coming in for the festival. And we hung out, having a good time, meeting different people. A hog farm was here, a commune from New Mexico who I have heard about, and hung around with them for a while. And then me and my friend, we got separated out here at the end of the road, and I haven't seen them since. I mean, that's how things were in those days, But anyway, I lived that whole weekend here. I mean, it was very safe. You felt like it was the safest place to be, The sense of community that we all had was real. People cared for each other, You knew something was really good here. Something was really great. And, and when it all happened, the weather conditions were terrible. The sound system was breaking down. There was a shortage of food. There was all these things that could make it go wrong, but everything went right. Everything went right. And, when it rained and we had mud, we played in the mud. All right. I considered we were the world's first water park, man, But the weekend ended, it was a 3-day event that actually went into the 4th day, with Hendrix coming on Monday morning, witnessing that. It was almost like dreamland for me because I was pretty hazy, pretty exhausted, I had some herbs and spices working on me, you know what I mean? And but when he went on, it was magic, and then it was over with. Nobody was here, everybody left, and I stayed on, and I camped over here by Filippini Pond, where we were skinny dipping at. I had a nice little camp there. I had friends. We got hired to clean up the site, and which was easy to clean because it was wide open. The hardest part was to clean in all these woods. You had to carry everything out to the road, and we had sticks with nails in it. There was just stuff all over the place, and we found cans of corn, cans of peas, and Spam, things people left behind, and we hoarded that. And we said, oh man, we can sit the winter out here with this, well, it never happened to be, but I landed the job. I was on my way out of town, and I was heading back to the Southwest, and I didn't get too far. I got to a bar out here, a great bar called Hector's Inn. The people were very, very nice. They were really good to me. And there was something there. A guy sitting there said he owned some bungalows. He said, "Hey hippie, do you know how to paint paint?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I got some bungalows that need to be painted." I said, "I'll paint them if you let me sleep in them." And that's how that all happened. That's why I stayed on. Next thing you know, it was Thanksgiving, and I had a lot of invitations to. I made a lot of friends here because, you know, I got a little bit of like celebrityism out of it. You know, hey, he's the hippie that never left. And anyway, I stayed on, and we can ease up now.